Hi, it's Aaron, and welcome to the KBB Supply Services podcast. In this episode, we're going to talk to Enzo from Rozier Installations, his new business that he set up when he joined KBB Supply Services after doing labour-only work, like where we all started, for many, many years. Signed up with KBB Supply Services, won his first job with our help, and then jumped into the KBB Academy. And we're going to talk about how, since then, his life has completely changed. We're going to cover the stubbornness of tradespeople that do labour-only work, how Enzo has got off the tools and he's earned more money, and how he's cleared his debts within 6 months. He's cleared a big chunk of his debts off with the money that he's earned just by doing the stuff that it says in the academy and doing the stuff that we teach as KBB Supply Services, the supplier that helps you grow. How Enzo has mastered surveys and quoting in the academy, and finally what the future holds for Enzo. So I hope you enjoy this conversation. Give it a good listen. It's only 45 minutes long, but I think you'll get a lot of value from this. So let's dive in. Thanks for coming on to have a chat.
Yeah, no worries, mate. No problem.
Obviously, we'll get on to the more recent stuff in a bit.
Yeah.
But obviously, just thought your story is quite interesting for people, so it'd be good to have a chat about it.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a bit of a roller coaster, hasn't it?
Yeah. Well, when I think back to where it started to where it is now, it's just completely different, isn't it, really?
Yeah. So just going back, so before you signed up, so where did you work before? Like, what were you doing?
I've been doing it for I think it was just over 8.5 years when I first contacted yourselves. And I've just been working. I worked direct for a company for quite a few years. Then I moved on to I went self-employed in May 22, and then I was just subcontracting to companies. For the first year, I just one company. I didn't really move around much at all. And then the second year, I started to, I'd say 3/4 of the year, I was just kind of working for about, 3 different companies at the same time, just whoever fills the diary first come, first serve sort of stuff. Yeah, that's what I was doing prior to yourselves.
You working for the big sheds as well?
Yes. So Wix's, bit of Wren. Obviously, everyone fits your Howdens stuff whenever there's something Howdens related. All of them really.
Yeah. And what was wrong with doing that? Like, why did you?
Well, you know what the weird thing is, I was thinking about it earlier. To be fair, is at the time nothing. At the time, it was like, this is sound. Do you know what I mean? I felt like I was doing okay, and then you start getting a bit caught up with you're doing stuff, you're not getting paid what you want to be paid. Everyone's obviously always looking into how you can get paid more. And I think, as for most kitchen fitters, I probably speak for out there, everyone always has the long-term plan. Oh, I'm not going to do this forever. I'm going to, move up one day. But then it's at the same time, where can you move up to in the kitchen fitting world? So I think I hit a point where I needed something new. And then I've kind of come across the videos from yourself on Instagram. Yeah.
It's funny because obviously we have fitters that we've employed for a long time in our own business, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing at all, but obviously some of them have got ambitions to do other things, and they've dropped it in a few times. One day I'll go and do my own thing, and then you think, well, before you know it, you're hitting 40, then you're hitting 50, then you're hitting 60, and you're going, oh, fucking hell. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So this is what I was. Everyone who taught me was that person you've just described. So as I was going through, learning everything, I was always like, I don't want to do that. I always the guys who used to work at the company I used to work for, they've been there for years and years, and I was always like, there's got to be something better than just this. Do you know what I mean? There's got to be progression, and I always wanted to do something which would progress to obviously more money, which is what everyone wants to do. But sometimes it's about making that jump, isn't it?
It is.
Well, to be fair, it's more about being open-minded to it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously that's what I was going to ask you next. So obviously you said that you mentioned you've seen the videos that with Facebook and all that. So what was it about that made you go, I'm going to do something with that?
I can actually remember the exact video I watched, to be fair, funny enough. It was one of them ones where you click it, and everything I clicked, there was a different video to guide me through the signing up thing. And I don't know. I think you know what it was. Is like I said, just everyone's always looking for that. I'm not going to do this forever. I'm going to go to that next best thing. But it's how do you do it? No one really obviously everyone, you can sometimes recommend, or get like a doors and worktops job and you buy the doors from somewhere. Those ones were achievable, but like stuff like doing a full fit under my own brand and stuff, that was never even a thought that even was possible, really, without heavy, heavy, heavy investment. So like when I seen what you kind of put out, it was kind of like, it drew me because it's like, this is actually achievable. This sounds possible. This doesn't sound impossible.
No,
So,
I think that's the thing people don't see. It's like if you don't have that level of or some help and support, the barriers are really high, aren't they? Especially if you've got to fit as well, And how do you find the time to do all that shit and the money?
Yeah, exactly. And I think I did sit on it though for a bit. Like I did, like I think I signed up, got the pack and stuff, but I didn't do anything with it for about 2 months, just probably because I was busy and stuff like that. And then whether I had a bad day or something or a bad week, and then I was like, fucking, I've got to find something else. And then I looked into it more, and then yeah, it kind of just it just gives you the ability to kind of take that different step, doesn't it? And
yeah. So when you started reading the packs, were you a bit skeptical at first?
Yeah, because I won't be the first to say it. Sometimes it sounds a bit too good to be true. You're like, what's the catch? Do you know what I mean? That was my thing. I was like, well, there's going to be like some massive catch at some point. But I think I remember the first meeting I attended, you said one of the lads had to come and drive to see you to check you were real. I think it's the same sort of thing. Sometimes it's like, this can't be quite right, but then it actually, like, once you start reaching out and stuff, you find out, it is actually possible.
Yeah, no, it's we get that all the time, mate. It's actually a bit of a problem because people like see it and they go, surely not,
Yeah.
And it becomes like, you start trying to convince people and you're like, fuck it, surely it shouldn't be this hard to help people. Do you know what I mean? But
I think everyone's so stubborn, especially in the trade. Everyone's so stubborn and stuck in their ways. And this is like this is a bit of something different, isn't it? There's not really many things out there like this.
Not in this industry, mate. No, because obviously kitchens in particular is very sort of monopolised in the sense that the big boys spend the money on the marketing, basically hoover the consumers up. And then that's why so many people in this industry don't have their own business. Because people think they're self-employed. They go, I'm self-employed, mate. Yeah, but you're fitting everyone else's kitchens. So you're not self-employed, really. You're just working for somebody else. And you're just paying your taxes a bit differently. But you are not. You're not really self-employed because you're just working for these other companies. And, that's just the way the industry's gone so heavily over the last 20, 30 years that everyone just like doesn't bother. Not many people start a kitchen business now because they think, well, you just can't get above that sort of fitting. As soon as you're busy with fitting, it's like, well, how do you get out of being busy with fitting?
Exactly. It's difficult to find the next step, especially when you're thinking like financially, how do I find the next level? It's difficult.
Yeah, because obviously you were moving, weren't you? And then you got a bit of traction. Then did you join the academy straight away?
No, so I actually was going. So obviously, like I said, once I picked it up and started to get interested again, I booked in, I think, the call with Lee, the discovery call, and I had a call with him. I was actually on the job. I remember it because I was too busy to answer the phone, but I made myself answer it, and I was like, right, I need to give this the time. So I did it. I was actually hanging the door when I spoke to Lee, and I was telling him about what I do and stuff, and he was talking to me about what yourselves do, and I was actually going on that evening to go and survey a job, obviously just installation work, like labour work, on the way home, and Lee was like, where is it from? And I was like, it's a recommendation for, I think they was having a B&Q kitchen. He goes, mate, and he kind of just gave me a bit of advice, saying, take it to them and say, would you like me to do you a quote, sort of thing, and just put it out there, because a lot of the times people are still in the shopping phase of it all, or if they've got a deposit down, it could just be a small one. So like, he kind of said to me, he's like, gave me a little like a run through of things I could say, and I had the brochure book on the van already anyway, so I went and I literally had a chat with them, and literally they were absolutely over the moon, the fact how I could give them a quote, and it took me back. And then I actually kind of made a few tweaks to the plan, which made me look amazing to them, because they'd obviously had some someone who's not got much experience in kitchens design this plan for them. So I designed it, tweaked it a little bit. They loved it. And I know I came in more expensive than what they wanted to pay, and and they did it. They went with me, and then that was it. That was like the right. This is actually like this is what I need to start doing, and then that's when I joined into the academy. So like I think it was like the October time that was, and then I joined the academy like straight after, like November.
Yeah, because I remember you was at the December meeting, wasn't you?
No, my first one was I missed that one. My first one was the January one.
Yeah. So it's the January one, wasn't it? And then you started.
So that's when it started. I think I just got my website. Literally, had just come live. I think the week before that meeting.
Yeah. So obviously, since joining the academy, like you've only really been in since January when you think about it, because obviously your website getting built and all the rest of it, and coming up to Christmas, it's never going to be boom time. So let's just say you started in January and it's now June. What has the months looked like since then, like in terms of earnings and work that you've done? And
so yeah, it's I mean, I've still got a long way to go in terms of where I want to be. I'd comfortably say I'm doing one supply and fit a month, which was my immediate target. I wanted to be doing at least one a month. Sometimes, like last month, I sold 2.
And what did you make on them? Like, what was you?
Probably around $3,000 on the both of them, realistically each. One of them was slightly under, for like 2.7, I think. But they're always around that kind of mark. And when you compare, so it took me 4 days to fit the one of them. Yeah. So, like, if that was just a labour job, you couldn't.
Sorry, mate. So effectively, by fitting a 4-day job, obviously there's a bit of work involved in presenting the quote and all that. But you're paying yourself for fitting, and then you're making $3,000 on top.
Yeah. So it's like separate. So you got your fitting costs, which obviously you make your markups on and what anyway. Yeah. And then you got your labour, your materials and products.
Oh, are you finding that the way we've told you to price useful? Obviously, because you've learned all this.
Game changer, complete like margins and markups isn't something I ever even knew about. It completely alien to me, that was. So learning all that has been massive. It's, to be fair, the whole thing's just kind of completely changed my perspective on everything business related, really, because it's like you learn about how to, like, you think you're classed as a business, aren't you, when you're like sole trader, just fitting kitchens. But this opened my eyes to how much I was not a business. Like, literally, like, everything now is proper, like, running a business. I know it's only small, but it's proper, like, managing things and, like, working out your quotes properly, not just stick 20% on the end, something like that. Because it's just completely doing it all wrong, isn't it, really, once I learned it all.
Yeah. It's mad how many people still say, well, how are you making profit on your job? And they go, I just stick 20% on. But what they don't realise is that's like 16% margin. And
yeah, exactly.
Margin are completely different. And when you get them numbers wrong and you end up... This is why people can't get off the ground. This is why when they try it themselves and they don't have the knowledge, they just don't know these numbers and it just messes up for them. Do you know what I mean? And that's why the academy obviously has taught you to do it properly. But making that sort of money, like, I can only imagine for family life and home life, it's had a big impact on that. Yeah,
well, literally, like, for example, I don't mind saying it. So, like, literally last month, we literally paid off a good, massive chunk of credit card debts that we'd racked up over the years, which would just kind of been continuously changing the credit card so you don't have to pay it off. You know what I mean? Just dragging it out. Managed to, doing the one a month, doing one kitchen a month would be my whole month of fitting in earnings. So doing one supply and fit, and then the rest of the month would be labour work if it needs be. It's only, so like if I matched my earnings with one supply and fit a month, the other 3 weeks in the month are just extra money I would never have had. So it's like having that kind of freedom was massively blowing up my, being able to change a lot more things, do things better, pay off things. So, yeah, it's been good.
Has it had a positive impact at home as well, I'm assuming? If the extra money's coming in, it makes life easier at home, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's it. It's a stress.
Yeah, because that pressure never goes away, does it? No matter what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
So how would you say that you are sort of like your optimism now towards the future? Is that a lot more now that you're part of the academy?
Yeah, definitely. So like with the part of the academy I'm in now, obviously it's more like the organising your business part of it, which is like, the part which I do struggle with. So it's like, but to be fair, it's kind of useful because you can always just go back to bits You know what I mean? If you feel like you're doing something wrong, you can just go back into the academy and tap into something that you've watched, which is something I've done, especially with the Loom videos. That was a big one for me. Getting over seeing myself on the webcam, hated it. So yeah, but
everyone hates doing the videos, and when we're training people how to do the sales, and they hate doing this video bit. But when they get into it and they realise, obviously, like if someone said to you, "No, right, give me all that money back because you won't do these videos," it's worth doing the videos, isn't it?
Even if you don't get the job, people still appreciate the effort, and like, you know what I mean? It's like they'll hold you in high regards just because of the effort you've put into that project. Even if you didn't get it, it still looks good. Do you know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing for me.
Yeah. And how's it going with? I know you took some on recently, didn't you? Like a young lad. Is he still with you, or?
He is, yeah. So I took Michael, isn't it? I took him on. Obviously, it's just he's got no experience in it, so it's just training him up from scratch. Yeah. It's going to be a slow burner, but obviously the goal, once work takes off to a point where I can start maybe coming off the tools a bit and like subbing the work out, which So I figured there's two options: either take someone and train them up, or you can, pay a lot more money and get someone to fit them for you. But mainly because of my age, because I've still got a lot. I feel like I've still got a lot to give in like the physical labour side of the job. I figured it makes more sense for me to get someone in who I can train up under my guidance, sort of thing, and then hopefully one day then they can take the reign, maybe with the kitchens.
Yeah, well,
it's going okay. Yeah, and I think the biggest the biggest benefit at the moment is for some reason, I don't know whether it's something I've done or the quality of leads I've been getting, but my leads coming in at the moment seem to be a bit more valuable than what they were at the start. So at the start, they were all really smaller jobs. But I think over the past 2-3 weeks, all my leads have been where I wanted the value of my jobs to be at.
Yeah. So I'll tell you about that. This is what happens in business naturally. This is called evolution. Yeah. When you first start out, when you're a sole trader, could you even comprehend that 12 months ago? Because you've not even been in this for more than 6-7 months when you think about it. Could you have comprehended 12 months ago that you'd be fitting and getting paid for fitting that week and getting $3,000 on top? You just wouldn't have thought it, would you?
No.
You would have gone, fuck off, no chance. Do you get what I mean? You said someone's pulling my leg here. As you move on your journey in business and you think, oh, your leads get better quality and all the rest of it, what's actually happening here is the fact that you are just becoming more confident and customers are just recognizing your brand more, but you're not realizing this. Do you get what I mean? Because the change in business is so slow and so subtle. So what's happening here is there'll be many things playing at this, by the way. Do you know what I mean? It'll be the fact you've probably got a few more reviews. Your profile looks a lot better because we reworded your profile, remember? We did a few bits, didn't we, just to help things. So these little subtle changes happen. Like I said, us as a business now, over sort of getting up to 15 years in ours now, the types of jobs that we would look at today if we were still in that world would be like, we'd be very picky about the customers we took on.
Yeah, of course.
And that's because when you've got a certain sort of level that you're at, and the thing is there, and kudos to you, you're just on your way to improving your business. Yeah. And I think this year, 2024, has been, the first half of it has been horrific in terms of leads, and I think it's just been a really bad year.
It's been difficult because people's I think obviously people are feeling the pinch financially, and people's expectations on budgets is just, it's been difficult trying to, people are expecting full projects, floors, tiling, kitchens, everything, and it's like under like $3-4 grand, and it's like, I don't know what world some people are living in. But
the problem there is, mate, some of the cowboys rock up to people's houses and sell and for those prices, and this is why they end up, getting scammed, because someone will come take a $2,000 deposit off them, and unfortunately, when bad times like in the economy occur, like what we've had recently, the cowboys rise because the customers get desperate to get a job done, and people who aren't even qualified to do it start promising people they can, So,
I think that's the one thing I've noticed is how much people love when I do a survey, just picking my brain about things, because if you think 9 times out of 10 people that are going in to do the surveys in their home, they've probably done a week or two's training course in how to design a kitchen and stuff like that. Whereas when it's someone who they know is in that industry, and like they say, like, you know, they talk to you about something, and you're just like, you either know it's not possible, or you know that's a terrible idea, you should do it this way, or not kind of like I don't like to, like, when I do a survey, I don't like to tell like people, you know, like they're crap. I don't like to down talk other companies because I think it just looks unprofessional. But at the same time, I do try to explain to people, like, it's not just a quick service of like, you know, we learnt this over the night. It's like an experience which we've been through it. We've learned what doesn't work and learned what does work. And it's like tried and tested almost now.
And it's like I always say, like in the academy and everything we do, customers buy from who they trust the most.
Yeah.
People think it's always about price. And when, like now, I can firmly have a conversation with you and you get it because you're saying it yourself, that customers love the fact you're an expert. And now you're making more money on jobs and getting better quality leads. And that's all because you are coming across like an expert. They trust in you. They want to do business with you. So therefore they are doing business with you. And it literally is that simple.
Yeah. And one of the jobs last month I sold, one of them too, I actually quoted that up age. Like I quoted it up about 2 months before that. And they were like, they loved it, but it was just too expensive, basically. So it kind of just went dead with them for a bit. And then they contacted me back about a month and a half later. They'd obviously maybe shopped around a little bit. And they were just like, we're ready now. Can you come back? And they wanted to do the design consultation with me. And straight away, like before you know, deposit was booked.
Did you check which communications have gone out in your CRM?
No, so I think because I knew what was going on, I think I put them in communication. Yeah. Does it stop when it's in communication? Or do they still get stuff?
Some of the workflows used to carry on. So basically, obviously for anyone who might listen to this later, Academy members obviously you have your CRM system, which we program with the full customer journey. So what we're talking about is obviously that. And what might have happened with this customer is they would have probably been followed up through the CRM.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's kind of just giving them a little nudge.
Might have received a couple of emails. We're worth checking back anyway on that.
Yeah.
But the 2 months of someone to convert was about right, really. You know, sometimes, you know, it's very typical that. So just this is why you need to be mindful that you're always keeping in touch with the customers, you know, making sure that you get a yes or a no.
Yeah, and I guess it's like at the moment, one of the quotes which are out, I've got quite a few out at the moment, which I'm quite hopeful on, to be fair, judging on how the surveys went. It's just people seem to be getting a lot of quotes. So I think the competition's gone up. But I think, again, as people that, like most of the people that, you know, are involved in this are more than likely fitting it themselves, if not, you know, have been doing it for a long time. And people just love the idea of a one-stop shop. I didn't really understand that when I first joined it, when you were talking about that. I was just thinking, I don't know how that, I couldn't really get my head around how people would want that. But I get it now. And it's like they literally love the idea of not having to, I don't know, constantly put adverts out on Check a Trade for whatever, for like multiple different trades. They just go to one person and then they can just get the whole thing done with them and their teams.
Yeah, that's why in the academy we talk about visibility, because the more visible you are, the more people are going to find you. The whole purpose of that whole section is that, you know, anyone wants a kitchen within, I used to think if anyone wants a kitchen or bathroom within 5 miles of where I live, they should be able to find me. And then that's the way you have to think about your business, you know, and people go, and I like obviously speak to people a lot. And one of the first questions I'm coming out with now when I'm speaking to people is, what have you done in the last 2 to 3 weeks that's been actively trying to find a customer and making yourself visible for customers? You can answer that and go, I've been doing this, and this. Obviously, that's where, you know, you're going to have success. So where are your leads coming from at the moment?
Yeah, so I was just about to say, actually, that might be another thing that's changed the value of my quotes, because my leads, is because I've got tired of a lot of it's online profiles, but different ones. So you've got like your, you know, the ones that you just pay as you go sort of thing, like for your leads, like your Barks, My Builders, and then rated people. I found with those, my values were really low. Like people were just in it for, they want to get in everything for nothing. And with the others, it's the same. But recently, I was with Check a Trade since I think March, and they've been really good. Like the quality of leads. Like the good thing is you can just say no to some of them. So there's a lot of rubbish on there you have to say no to. But if you know which ones you're looking out for, I've had more than my yearly's money worth out of that already. So I'm happy with that. And then it got me thinking, like, I'm going to stop paying into the the ones that are like the smaller ones, like the pay-as-you-go ones. And I joined Trust the Trader because I always hear them on the radio. So I thought, and I know they're similar to Check a Trade. So I've got signed up with them. And both of those push your name up on Google as well. So, if they put like Wolverhampton Kitchens, my name actually comes up in that somewhere on Google, that search now. It's with the SEOs and stuff like that. So that's pumped me up a little bit in that. So I think the quality of leads from there are good. And literally today, I'm just in the process of applying for Which as well. Finally getting that sorted now.
Which will make a difference. But have you been getting any leads through your actual website?
I've had a lot of I haven't got the job. I had a survey I did last month, and I didn't know who she was. It just popped into my CRM, so that must have been the one. The website at the moment for me is just my selling tool because it's such a good website. Like sending people, I just send people there, and I send them to where I want them to see, like with the kitchen displays and stuff. And it's such a massive selling tool for me.
Yeah, I mean, everyone always gets like triggered with websites. Go right, as soon as the website's live, I get leads coming through it. But realistically, your website won't start generating leads, and even then, you got to do work on the website for it to generate leads. But it is more for selling, like you say. If you're using your website throughout the sales process, then that's how you're going to get conversions, basically.
But I think as my SEOs, I'm saying that right, and the Google thing, as that goes up, that's where the website will come in handy with, like, people might come across on the website and then come into the surveys then. So that's something that I think might, down the line for me, start proving worth in terms of getting jobs.
Yeah, but it's all going well, mate, isn't it? So what would you say?
I still do a lot of subcontracting work, but it's compared to where I was to where I am now is a humongous difference.
Yeah, and bear in mind, mate, let's just put things into perspective. We're less than 6 months in.
Exactly.
Well, we're just at the end of month 5 when you think about it, going into month 6. And to be like one job a month, all right, we're still doing some labour-only work, but I'm not an advocate, as you know, of just cutting off the labour-only work and jumping into stuff like this. You do need to give it time. And
to be fair, the labour-only work was a lot. The main reason was because I wanted to, once I took that lad on, I was happy if there was a week or something in a month, I didn't need to work because I don't know money. I was fine to have it off. Whereas now, because I've got him, I feel like I need to keep him busy. So I'm kind of taking on work just to fill the diary, just so, you know what I mean? So we've still got work coming in, whereas it's not really because we needed to. It's just to keep him busy with the diary mainly.
Yeah. So it's definitely moving in the right direction. So what's the plan for the rest of the year now for you?
As in goal, what the goal is by the end of the year.
Well, you're on track anyway from what you said, aren't you? So, when you...
I just want to be doing two a month. If I can get to 2 a month, I'd be over the moon.
Yeah. And how are you...
More surveys, because I'm only doing one survey a week on average.
Yeah, but that should turn into 2 jobs, though. If you just get one more appointment, well, this is the perfect thing, because I always say 2 appointments a week, two appointments a week will get you 2 jobs a month. If you do selling right. So you're saying you're at 4 appointments a month and 1 job a month. So you're halfway there. So if we can get that extra appointment in every week, by Christmas, you're going to be at the 2 jobs.
Yeah. And I guess the issue I've got at the same time as well is a lot of my surveys, they're quite big jobs. It's not like the jobs I've sold recently, like where it's like quickly, job sold, get it fitted within the next month. But these jobs which are like, they either want it a little bit further down the line, or there's just a lot of building work and other stuff that needs doing as well. So it kind of instantly pushes it back another month or 2. So
it does, but just bear in mind, you've got to build that pipeline. So this is where your cash flow sheet comes in. Remember, we went through the cash flow sheet. And this is where you've got to look at them jobs and go, right, well, if that one converts in September time, we need to start building up a bit of a forecast here. And don't be put off by them jobs. Jobs that are starting in 2 or 3 months' time are actually really good. Because what that does is it means, right, okay, that's not going to start straight away. It's going to start in a couple of months or 3 months, But that's building your pipeline as a business. And these things that help you sleep at night. Knowing diary of work helps you sleep.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't worry too much about that. I know you've put on your check-in that you've sent in, obviously scorecard and cash flows. Is that updating the sheets, basically, making sure that you're doing it?
Yeah. And to be fair, that's more... Sorry.
How can I help you with that then, or is it just a telling off that you need to do it?
I think it's to just do it. Like that's what I need to do. I need just to I could do going through with the scorecard again, getting it set up because I've started the cash flows. The cash flow is more just like you said, a telling off to do it. The scorecard's the one I could do with a bit of a walkthrough, and then hopefully I can start trying, like you say, just every Sunday or something like that. Just try and give it a good look at, like, update it every Sunday or something like that.
Yeah, well, that's what I'd recommend, mate, is because the stuff that's on your scorecard at the moment that's already there, I don't think you'd need to change anything from what's already on it. I think what you need to do is probably get to Sunday, sit down and rack your brain a bit and go bump and just fill it in and just start planning. So at the last event, I gave out some planners. You wouldn't have got them, though, would you? Were you at the last event? You were, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I gave out the planners. Oh, have you still got that?
Yeah, I've got it, yeah.
You can download it. So what I'd need you to do there, mate, is have a proper look at that planner, and start organising your week in terms of the things that you need to do properly.
That's literally exactly what I need to do, to be fair. Is it it's the paper booklet one, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's in the Academy as well as a download. So if you go into the Academy, you can download that in it's in the workbook bit. Or if you can't find it in the Academy, let me know. I will send it to you.
I think my issue is I'm not always on my laptop, you see, so it's like a lot of the time I'm not with my laptop or something. So then doing this sort of stuff just gets put on the back burner then.
Well, this is where obviously dedicating that half an hour or an hour on a Sunday to sit down with a brew, usually first thing in the morning if you can. That to get up a bit an hour before everyone else. I know it's Sunday, but trust me, if you get your head in the game on a Sunday before the Monday, that is one of the. Someone said to me, "What's one of your sort of secrets to making the week a success and life?" Because you've got to make every week a success to make every month a success. You've got to make every month a success to make every year a success. Do you get what I'm saying? You've got to start small little habits. And one of them that is really valuable, like I generally have, I know this isn't possible for you at the moment, but again, just a bit of an insight for down the line. Because when you come off the tools, you can do this. And I did it when I came off the tools. I used to take a bit more of a relaxed day on a Friday, usually have Saturday off, and work on a Sunday. Because the fact Sunday's a bit boring. And it doesn't need to be all day, but just getting that couple of hours in on the Sunday. If you hit Monday, I always say to people, and I say to my team and people that are coach and all the rest of it, if you hit Monday, not knowing in a lot of detail what the whole week looks like, you've already lost the battle.
Yeah, true.
The week's already beat you on 8 o'clock Monday morning. Do you get what I mean? Because you don't know where you're a flag in the wind. What's the plan for the week? If you haven't got that written down before Sunday night, forget it. Because when you hit Monday, you'll just be a yes man to everything that goes on around you. So in your scorecard and knowing your cash flow sheet in your head, so you're tuned in going, right, I need to do this, and this week. I need to make them in. If you hit Monday and you're not sure, you're like, I'll update it later in the week. And then every week's doing this. What you'll find is your business just plateaus. You don't start seeing that growth curve going up because you're not getting a grip of it. And where you are now is good, but you could easily stay there for a very, very long time if you're not careful. You need to take more notches up.
The cash flows one is the one which I think I really want to get set up because sometimes you can get lost, can't you, of actually what you've earned on a job and stuff like that. Because you just when you look at your bank, it's just money in, money out, money in, money out. Whereas if you can actually see the actual numbers of that's what came in, because sometimes something will come in and it's just gone out on something else, so it's like you didn't even earn it.
And this is why having the steady flow of cash flow, that's why the sheet is there. Because the sooner you get your head into the game, that $3,000, although it sounds good, it's going on the next job. So this is why we need to get into the rhythm of, this is why in business we like a steady flow of leads, a steady flow of jobs, a steady flow of cash. Because if we have all these things going on like that, then we know, right, I can live this lifestyle because I've got this flow of cash going on. Do you get what I mean? And that's what mentally you need to get to. But you're not going to be, the scorecard will help you get the jobs and build your brand. and the cash flow will help you count the cash once it's coming in and keeping in control of it. That's how those two things work. Do you get what I mean? And that's the relationship between them. I think I'm not hearing anything from you that I'm saying, right, yeah, we need to look at the scorecard in a different way to what's already in the academy. When's the last time you watched the video on the scorecard?
I've only watched it once, so that's what I could do with doing is just having a recap, and not really
have a proper recap of it. Because what, again, no issue at all booking in a call to go through it or anything like that. But what I want to get out of the habit of is, that's a video that if you watched it and watched it again and just sat and put yourself through the pain of doing it, you would be like, right, I get it now. Do you get what I mean? And get that Sunday in for an hour, either at night time or in the morning, to update it. So what I would like you to do is go and watch it twice, get to this Sunday, do an hour on it, fill them in, and then where you get stuck and you think, right, that don't make sense, that's where you need to ask the question.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I need to make it a thing that has to happen on a Sunday, not just if I get time, I'll do it. It's Sunday, I've got to do that. Then everything else I'll do after.
Even
that's
a Friday.
What I need to get myself into.
Yeah. Whatever day you pick, just make sure it happens. I like Sunday because the phone's quiet. No one's mithering me. People are in bed a bit later. I get up early. I do my bits in the morning and at night. And I know when Monday comes, right, no one's dictating the week to me. I know the scorecards are right. If they're not, I've got a plan. Because half of the time with your scorecards, it's not that everything's rosy. It's that it tells you where the problems are. Do you get what I mean? The scorecard is there to make you a success, but it's also there to stop you from failing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
We've got to do the stuff on that scorecard to build the brand.
After the last meeting, the one thing that I've kept and I've been using is that that grid that you made with 24 jobs a year, with which you categorize, like online profiles, recommendations, and I was just doing that, and I'm just thinking, because when you put it into simple terms like that, it's like that's mega achievable. That is. So
yeah. Cool.
I think I want to make sure I keep on top of that grid and try and see whether I can try and get that filled come the end of the year. At the moment, online profiles is heavily dominating it. There's a couple recommendation ones. The ones which I'm yet to pull any in on is like my leaflets, and I've got the leaflets from yourselves, and I'm in the local magazine.
I'll tell you a gold mine at the minute that people are unearthing all over the place. And it's something I would tell you to go and do straight away, is your local builders and your local trades. Honestly, people are having a lot of success with that.
Yeah, so I watched that bit on the academy when you spoke about that. And I have since, obviously, with the trades I come in contact with, like, around me, I've sorted, said, you bring your jobs to me sort of thing, I can't sort you out. Like a bit of cash on it, like a recommendation fee or something. But what I haven't done is reached out to unknown people. Like kind of markets there.
It'd be a bit of a laugh and a joke. What we want to do is get a leaflet designed with us. We'll do a referral leaflet where we can go, right, we'll put something. We are working on something like this, but it's like networking groups, so local networking groups where you've got trades in there. Reaching out to local trades, that are working in people's houses, saying, look, do a deal with them, as it says in the academy. And builders are a big one. We're getting people that are just doing that, and they're like, oh, yeah, I've got like 2 jobs. And it's like, fun, they like that because they need them tomorrow. Do you get what I mean? And all they're doing is they're going into trade counters, giving them drawings or getting them out to measure. And that's how they're doing it. And it's like, well, actually, you can be that person that, again, takes them through the whole process. And people
I spoke to one of my builders last week, actually, coincidentally, and I said to him, because I was trying to say about, potentially coming to me in the future. And I says, who do you use now? And I think he said Howden's, or was it Magnet? One or the other. And all he gets is £200 credit per kitchen. Doesn't even get any money, just gets credit. And I was just thinking, that's mad.
Yeah.
That people, I don't know how, your Howden's and your Magnets get away with it all. It's insane now. Looking back at it now, how have they actually pulled this out the bag?
Well, someone said to me a while ago, you've really got it in for these trade counters. I went, honestly, I think what they've done is unbelievable. They have absolutely brainwashed practically a whole trade of people. And, it's basically like how do you work out that, right, I've got a customer who wants a kitchen, so I'm going to take them to someone else. You make more money on the kitchen than anything else, right? So why would you, as a business person or self-employed person, go, oh, I've got a customer, I'll take them to another business for them to take the profit away from me? I mean, and when you think that this is normal and this is what people do, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... Tell me another industry where that happens.
No.
It doesn't.
It is madness. I think I had the chat with him and I said to him, I kind of like gave him an offer almost, but it was a bit of a variable one. I says like, depending on the job, we can kind of change it, sort of thing, and just trying to like give him a different perspective. And he was buzzing. He was like, yeah, 100%. I'll take you up on this. Next time I get someone, comes to me asking for a kitchen. Fingers crossed that's another little thing for the future, but that just proves what you were saying just about networking with the trades.
Just go and open people's eyes in the local area, mate, and just get the builders, get your local trades, even other fitters. We have people in the academy, believe it or not, that sell kitchens to other fitters.
Mm.
Like, how they do it, I don't know, but I know they do it. And, that's something that they're sort of getting other fitters to fit for them and then selling them kitchens. But because this guy is feeding them work, they're like, they don't overstep him and come to us. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
There's also,
but that's just like the subcontracting for someone then, isn't it, really? Rather than...
Because it's not for everybody. Not everybody wants to run a business, and some people are happy with what they earn, and that's why you don't want to be like, but I don't want to be offensive to say to people, oh, you're not earning enough money or you could earn more. But I think what people forget is that some people do want to earn more. Some people are not earning enough, or they've got bigger ambitions. And this opportunity just opens all that up, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just the way like you can kind of like the guidance of yourselves to like set my business up. Like obviously you kind of guided me through the whole process. And it's like a proper, like, like with the websites, the quoting stuff, to branded. Like I know I did that myself, but it's still something I wouldn't have done if it wasn't for yourselves. My van, you were heavily involved with the van, weren't you? It's just like, it's kind of pushed me to do. I wanted to do this stuff anyway, do you know what I mean? But it's just always on the back burner. And then it was just kind of like, when I first started, you kind of made it clear. It was like, I want you to work with me, sort of thing, as in like, listen to what I say, like, I'll help you through it, sort of thing. And it's worked exactly like you said, really. Just need it to start taking off a bit more with more jobs, and then, yeah.
It'll come, mate. What if someone was saying to you, no, right, I'm thinking about doing this, what would you say to him?
You're mad not to. If you're anything like my mindset was before, thinking like, I want to go to the next level, how do I do it? This is how you do it. Because like you say, it's literally, you got a design team, like, which would cost you an absolute fortune. Got like technical support, business management, or just moral support. Like literally, last week I rang Lee after a survey because I was stressing, having a bit of a meltdown because I felt like I didn't do a good survey. Just a literally 15-minute chat, come off the phone, I felt all right again. I was like, right, reassured, head back in the game. Just a little meltdown, and then back in the game. You know what I mean? It's because obviously you're on your own doing it because it's your own business, but being partnered up with yourselves, it's just like the moral support. It's not you're not on your own, basically. You've got a whole company with you, and it's like, it's good, really, like that.
Yeah. I bet. Did you feel like you're part of a bigger company, really, don't you?
Yeah, literally, because you got all these different aspects of like, like I choose to design the kitchens myself, like with the measurements, but you didn't even, if I wanted to, I could literally just send a picture of hob there, sink there, and then you guys would just do it for me. And it's just like, that service is there for people who want to do that. Like, it's crazy, really.
Listen, thanks for chatting. I'm really glad you're doing really well, mate. And like I say, keep the check-ins coming every few weeks, and make sure that you can get in touch with us when you need help. So get to Sunday, do what I've said. Make sure that you sit down for a good couple of hours before then. Rewatch these videos, have a crack at them again. Yeah. Make sure that, and then write down what you're struggling with. And then when you've got to that point, you go, right, that's the bit I don't get. That's when you need to book a call in. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll get my teeth into it properly first.
Yes. Yeah, I'm not like I say, I just want you to make sure you understand. Watch the videos a couple of times in the academy. Make sure you're absorbing it and watch it again. If I've watched it 3 times, Because if we keep going over it and doing demo, you're never doing it yourself. Do you get what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
You need to do it and then go, right, that's the bit I don't get. I need you to pinpoint it and go, right, this is the bit that's confusing me. And then from there, we could probably have a 5-10 minute call and we could get you over that and get you into that habit very quickly.
Yeah, definitely. That's fine, mate.
Mate. We're proud of you. Like I say, just keep going, okay?
Yeah, thank you very much.